Good morning. It's day 2 of UKSG and it's a much better day today weather-wise. It's really nice and sunny, nice and bright, and I'm really looking forward to today. I did struggle to get up a little bit this morning, but the first keynote this morning I'm really looking forward to. So that encouraged me to get up and get ready. And I've just nipped down for a much quicker breakfast this morning, and I'm just off to the sessions. Really looking forward to today because there's quite a few sessions that I want to attend about different research methods and different. There's quite a few sessions that I'm quite interested in. So. I'm also hoping to spend a bit of time with the exhibitors, so I will check in later today. Bye! So I'm currently on the beach. It's really sunny. It's such a lovely day. I'll just switch it around so that you can see. Just look how beautiful it is. It's just gorgeous. So I've done the morning of the conference. It's just coming up to lunchtime now, taking a little bit of time out to just kind of reflect. I found this morning really interesting actually. I was looking forward to it anyway, but there was just so many common themes, particularly in Donna's keynote at the beginning, and then Sarah's session, Sarah Pittaway, did a session within that as well. And then I also chose to attend a breakout session on students and using students to help with market research or understanding more about students' usage. So the whole day, the whole morning was about talking to students, listening to students, understanding not just students, any users, and kind of listening to their experiences and understanding more about their needs. So it was really good, and it's an area that I've always been quite interested in. I did my dissertation research on marketing orientation, which makes it sound like it's all about promotion and things like that, but marketing orientation is around trying to understand users, and the focus for the organisation being trying to understand users' needs. And actually, rather than trying to promote the services that you have or trying to develop services based on particular things that you want to do for your organisation, it's based on everything you do being for your users and understanding their needs, which is kind of at the essence of a lot of what came out of the talks, and around observing people, chatting to people, finding out how they use the spaces, how they would like to use the spaces, all that sort of thing. So it was really interesting, and I think possibly by using the terminology marketing orientation it would turn people off it, but in my own mind that's the way I'm kind of thinking of these things now and consolidating how they are bringing together these common threads, and I think it's great because it's something that I've always been quite interested in personally, but have always kind of felt that this is the direction that libraries should be going, and I'm sensing that there is a bit of a shift, that more libraries are focusing more of their energies to understanding their users' needs. There was a comment in the question session from the breakout about who should be doing this research, because the case studies that were given, one was students doing the research as part of a market research module for their degree, and the second example was a consultancy, a market research company doing the research, and there was a question around whether there is a role for librarians in doing this research, and whether librarians should be doing this research, and whether there is an issue around the skills gap. And that's something that I've found through my own research into the research skills and capabilities of librarians, and I think it is something that needs to be addressed, and it's something that personally I'm quite passionate about trying to help that situation. So that's why, for example, I run workshops on how to plan and facilitate focus groups, and I'd love to do more on helping to skill librarians and give them the confidence as well. I think sometimes it's not just about needing certain skills, but about giving people confidence to do that. A lot of the things that were talked about today can be achieved just by talking to people, but recording that in a certain way and having the confidence to do things without worrying about it being a rigorous research project. And that's again something that I'm quite passionate about enabling people to do. So for me it was really good, really great to see these developments, and it's got me thinking quite a lot about where things might go and how I might be able to help support that in the sector, whether that's through helping with the research, doing some of my own research, helping other libraries do research, or whether it's in enabling librarians to do their own research. So really good stuff. Got some more reflection to do as I'm walking around here. It's such a nice day. And then I've got my session soon, so I'll catch you with you later. Bye. Okay, so I'm back now from day 2 of UKSG Conference. So just finished the afternoon sessions, just got a bit of time between the afternoon and the conference dinner tonight, which I'm really looking forward to. I have been to UKSG before, once before, and it was also at Bournemouth that time, and the conference dinner was really good. It was fun fair themed, and I have very fond memories of the inflatable laser tag. There was Dodgems and there was a Bucking Bronco, but the inflatable laser tag was just amazing. So I'm very much hoping that that is also here this year, and that I can recreate the fun that I had on that. In the meantime, I just wanted to take this opportunity to reflect on the rest of the day, and also to share some bits that I got from the exhibition as well. So this afternoon, since my last update, I had my own breakout session. So the second running of our breakout session this afternoon was in the kind of first section after lunch. I was really surprised that, to be honest, anybody came along, because it was such a beautiful day outside. I think we were quite fortunate that we'd had quite a long lunch break, so people had still had chance to go and explore, have a walk along the beach, have something to eat, and still feel fairly refreshed to get back into the session. So I was really pleased, and it was a pretty much full room again. There was hardly any seats, so really nice that people want to come to our session, and everyone seemed very engaged with it, and we got again some interesting comments afterwards. Some people from outside of the UK who were interested in also collecting usage stats. We're quite fortunate, and we get a lot of positive feedback from those outside the UK who I think are a little envious of the fact that in the UK we do have a number of JISC funded services for UK institutions that outside of the UK that they just don't have anything similar. So for those outside of the UK who are interested in journal usage stats and repository usage stats, we often get asked about it. But it was really positive that we had somebody from Sweden who we do support them. We have a service that we support Swedish libraries with, and he was in the session and was able to say that to let us know that they're really happy with that. So that was great to hear, and it went well. We had a good response. So I was then able to kind of relax a little bit more now that my speaking commitments are over. But for the final session of the day was a session I was really looking forward to, which was Dave Parts from Staffordshire University, which is near where I'm based, and where I grew up as well, in Stoke-on-Trent. And I'm always fascinated by what Dave has to say anyway, so I always really enjoy going to his sessions. But this one in particular I was very interested in because I wasn't sure what to expect. It was called The Psychogeography of Libraries, and I'd read the blurb about it and thought it sounded quite intriguing, and I wasn't aware of what psychogeography of libraries or what psychogeography was about, and it was really interesting. There was just so much in the session that it's hard to condense it, and I don't know if you'd get the flavour of it from the slides. You'd get some of it, but really it was all the ideas that Dave was sharing and all the examples that came from it. So I'll struggle to do it justice, to be honest. But basically what he was talking about was the way that people use spaces and places, and how we apply that to libraries as well. So, for example, he talked a lot about psychogeography in general, and I would recommend, if you're interested, finding out sort of general research about how we explore spaces around us in cities, and there's some kind of useful apps and things that you can use to do that. I had a go at geocaching one time, which is not really exploring in the same sense, but because it's not as happenstance, if that's the right word. So there's a lot of research out there on psychogeography, but in terms of applying it to libraries, Dave was talking about some of the ways that you can observe how spaces are being used and do help people as well. So, for example, mapping and symbols and the way that the things that are in the library have an impact on people's perceptions of the library. And the final 2 slides had some really lovely ideas of things that you can do to encourage your users to explore the space within the library and outside of the library, rather than just kind of follow the standard, this is how you get your degree, this is how you use the library, this is how you do this. So it was about, for example, there's one idea to get people to do sort of like a scavenger hunt, I guess, but go around and find the A to Z things. So kind of looking out and looking around you and looking at different spaces. And he was talking about the advantage of going to explore different parts of the university, understand the heritage as well, but also just exploring spaces and using them in different ways. And he talked a little bit about how study spaces are being used and the fact that after they'd had a refurbishment, they found that some students, despite having all this flexible learning spaces, were trying to get sofas into the lifts to take it to a different space. And that's something that I know has happened at my own university, which also has a fairly new library. And I know that people are moving things around and using them in the ways that they want to use them. And that's natural. That's what we do. We find our own ways of adapting the spaces around us. So no kind of concrete answers from that, but lots of things to think about. It was really kind of inspirational and got a lot of people's creative juices flowing, I think. So that was a really good way to kind of end the day. I think a lot of us are now thinking about the sorts of things that you could potentially do or look into. So that was the final session that I went to today, because I again spent the last part of the day in the exhibition. So I spent a little bit more time going around. There's a prize draw to win a free place to next year's UKSG, and I've really enjoyed the conference, so I'd love to come again. So I decided to take advantage of that prize draw. So I kind of went round and spoke to some of the different exhibitors and made sure to collect my stickers to enter my prize draw. But again, it was the conversations that I had with people was really interesting. But of course, a conference exhibition wouldn't be a conference exhibition without some swag. So we had a bit of a Twitter conversation because there was a bit of a crisis in relation to the stuffed turtles from Biomed Central, which I personally haven't come across before, but apparently they're under demand quite often at these conferences. And Dom on Twitter, who I've been connected with for a long time, but we've never met in person, put out an appeal to get these turtles because there weren't any left, and then he managed to get one, and then I happened to be near the stand when I spotted another, so I asked if I could have the last one to take for him, so got to meet him as well, which was good, and hand over the turtle. But I also thought I'd just show you some highlights of some of the things that I got from the conference that are quite useful. The first is another turtle, actually, so I don't have the big turtle, but I have this little turtle. This is a really nice idea. It's emerald, and it was a hook a turtle, so like hook a duck, but you hook the turtle, and then underneath there's a number. So I got a £5 Amazon voucher, actually, but also got to keep the turtle. This one actually is out because someone else has 2 children, and it seems to be a common thing that people need 2 of them. And so I'm donating my turtle to someone else, so I'm going to take that to the dinner tonight to pass on to her. Some of the kind of highlights of things, there's lots of the bags, which I always find really useful, these kind of reusable bags. So I got another one of those because they're really handy. There's quite a few colouring things this year. It's all about kind of mindfulness. So this is the mindfulness colouring and activity book. And actually last night it's quite good because it's not just colouring, it's activities as well. So I followed an instruction to encourage me to do some of this sort of Zentangle, I think they call it. In this, it's called Zen Doodles. But that was quite fun, and I quite enjoyed doing that late last night. So I might fill the others, and there's some origami things and colouring things and all sorts in there. So that was quite nice to do some colouring. There's quite a few notepads. I really like these style ones. I've started for the conference, actually I've been jotting down in my own little notepad of a similar size to this, and I really like these ones that have the elastic, and also at the back it's got a pocket that you can put tabs in and things like that, so really like these. So this one's Gale, but there's quite a few of those around at different stands. Also managed to get some silly putty, and this was nostalgic purposes really, but this is a overleaf putty. I haven't opened it yet, but I'm hoping that it's just as amazing as the silly putty that I had as a kid that used to be able to bounce and throw around and just play with as a stress thing, and also kind of print things on it and stuff. So I don't know, but that was quite fun. And then, of course, there's loads of pens and pencils, but I really liked this particular one. This is Cambridge Law Reports, and so I really liked what they'd done there with that one. And also I got a... So uploading the last YouTube video really hammered the battery on my phone, so I managed to pick up a power bank charger. So I'm charging that up at the moment, and I'll take that with me so that I make sure I've got enough battery for tonight. And I also got a reusable water bottle. Yesterday I had a bottle with me that I normally carry a bottle around and fill it up, and I seem to lose my one. I didn't have one today, so I was quite thirsty for a lot of the day and always looking out for glasses of water. So I'm going to take that tomorrow, and then I'll have that with the journey back on the train tomorrow as well. So that was the kind of conference exhibition swag that I got, and also lots of information that I'm going to pass on to colleagues, and lots of contacts that I've made that I can follow up for some of the projects that I work on, or some that I know from other people. So it's a really good exhibition. Really, there must be about 80 exhibitors, I think, something like that. Lots of exhibitors. So really, really good exhibition. And I also really appreciate the fact that we have quite long breaks and lunches to enable us to not just rest and replenish, but also take time to speak to the exhibitors and go around to the stands. So that's really good, really like that. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to get ready for the dinner. I probably won't, this will probably be the end of day 2. So I'll finish this off now and see if I can get this shared. But yeah, I'm really, really enjoying the conference. Looking forward to tomorrow. It's just a half day tomorrow, just in the morning until lunchtime. But today's been fantastic. I've taken a real lot from it. Lots of stuff around different research methods and what's currently happening, what we can do in future. And it's got my thinking cap on of lots of ideas, lots of things that I'd like to get involved in or help out with in future, and share with other people. And yeah, it was a really, really positive day. And even though I kind of work on the periphery of this area, I don't work in electronic resources, I took a lot from today in terms of the different research methods and different things that are happening and that you can use. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So thank you, UKSG, for organising this conference, and thanks to all the speakers for the sessions I attended today. Really, really enjoyed them all. So see you tomorrow.